Ross. We're at the Whistler Golf Course today. Funding for this program is provided by Whistler Cable 6. Videotape supplied by 1 Hour Photo. Sound and lighting by Telav. Now, here's the executive chef of the Whistler Conference Center with a 24 handicap, Ross Smith.
Hello, hello, and welcome to Cooking with Ross. Here we are, as Jim said, at the Whistler Golf Course. You can see behind me the pro shop and the food cabin and the little patio and everything. We have a scorcher day here in Whistler today. Lord knows what it's going to be, probably 30, 31, 32 degrees. It's just before noon now and it's warm already. So what we're going to do today is something that we've been asked a lot to do. Something summery, something that goes with the seasons. We're going to do barbecue. We're going to also do something different with barbecue, not the normal steak or the normal hot dogs or smokies or burgers. Don't get me wrong, I like hamburgers, I like steak. I think we should be doing something different just to show you how easy it is and how simple it is. We're going to do 3 different brochettes today, which is meat or seafood or vegetables actually you could do on skewers so that you can turn them and rotate them properly on a barbecue. We have a barbecue here, a propane domestic model that you will be dealing with, and we're going to be marinating, putting together the food for you, and putting a nice little barbecue brunch or lunch or dinner, and we'll do a salad in the last segment, and then we'll serve it to some of the guests and the people around. Okay. Now, what we're going to start with, we're going to do 3 different brochettes. Now, of course, this is going to be a little different than burgers and steaks. We're doing a lobster brochette. And lobster isn't quite as expensive as people think it is if you just use small amounts. We're going to marinate it, barbecue it. We're doing a turkey breast. Again, pieces. You can use waste pieces off a carcass for this. And then we're also going to do prawn and scallop brochette. Now, what I'd like to do is start with the marinades. Okay, now we're going to go with the turkey one first. 2 cloves of garlic. Very, very simple. Now, in barbecuing, the marinades that I'm using here, you marinate them in it. It doesn't take long, and you also baste them while they're cooking with the juice, okay? They don't have to be overnight or hours or anything like that. I'm doing the garlic fairly chunky, not too fine. A very simple marinade. You can use this. A little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Simple soy sauce. Okay, and I have here some sesame oil. Just a dash. Again, we just want to rub these with it, okay? It's not to be, you don't have to make a whole bunch of fluid and that. Everything I've put in there so far is what we call a fiber breaker. We have a little ginger, ground ginger or fresh if you have it. Just going to mix that up. Just give it a little more fluid, a little bit of vegetable oil. Okay, now, you can see what I've done here. I've just taken the turkey meat. We've taken small skewers, just like this, 5-6 inch skewers, and we're just going to put them in the marinade, rub them around. I'd say usually you go about 3 ounces on a brochette. You use the small ones, and if you're doing a party where you're doing a variation of different brochettes and that, people can have more than one. Put everything in there. There we go. Now, you could leave this in the fridge for a couple of hours and that if you want. We aren't going to because we're working outside. The marinade will get in rather quickly. Okay, now, number 2. Again, we'll go with prawns and scallops. Another clove of garlic. And you might say, okay, he's using garlic and everything. Okay. The amount of time that we are marinating it for, the garlic is only going to be a small part of the taste. Believe me, it's not going to overpower. About 2.5 ounces of lemon juice. Now I'm using something different here. You can buy this at your delicatessens. It's a walnut oil. And it's along the lines, rich, heavy, much like an olive oil, but still not heavy in cholesterol, still healthy. We're going to use some black pepper in there. There we go. A little bit of salt. And I have some fresh oregano here that I've chopped up. Now, stage 2. You can see what I've done with the brochettes here. I've just taken a scallop. I've put the skewer through the tail of the prawn, put the scallop in the middle, then skewered the head of the prawn. I've done 2 on each skewer. The good thing about this is that they will hold together on a barbecue. You can turn them easily, and they won't be flopping all over if you try to do prawns by themselves, okay? And again, we're just going to toss these in the marinade. It won't take long, specifically if you're doing it outside. It won't take long at all. Marinades will adhere into the meats and the seafood a lot quicker in the heat than they will in refrigeration. Now we're cooking these right away, so we don't have them outside very long. If you're dealing with poultry or seafood, I do suggest don't leave it in very warm or hot weather too long. We won't. This is going right on the barbecue in the next segment. So, and I do have some extra prawns here for the staff, as we always prepare for, and I'm just going to put them in the same marinade. Now, toss those, put those aside. Now we have one more to do, and this is the lobster. Now what I've done here is I've taken about 3.5 to 4 ounce lobster tail, sliced it down the middle, and just skewered it with the brochette lid, okay, with the bamboo. How we will probably serve these, because that's a fair amount of lobster, is we'll take them off and just cut them into chunks for people to try. It's a great appetizer. We actually serve these at the conference center. Okay, now, marinade number 3. Something a little different here, except for the garlic. And I know there's garlic in all 3 of these. Garlic is a tremendous tenderizer and moisturizer. You won't notice at home, but the people who are trying the food here will notice that garlic will taste totally different in all 3 dishes. Okay. Now, I've got here some peanut butter. We're going to use about 2 ounces, 2.5 ounces of peanut butter. 1.5 ounces of honey, liquid honey. It's a lot easier because we do want this to be fluid. There we go. Now, a little bit, just a dash of ginger, Tabasco, Worcestershire sauce, and vegetable oil. We use canola oil. Just a very little bit, about 1/4 ounce balsamic vinegar. It's a very light vinegar. It'll give a flavor and not too much sharpness. As you can see, I've got that very fluidy moment. And we put the lobster in, toss it. Like I say, in this type of weather, in this heat, it won't require a lot of marination. We have the barbecue heated up, ready to go. We're going to come back in the next segment. We'll start barbecuing these. I'll explain which ones, the time that will be taken with each one. We'll start them in a sequence of timing, and then we'll come back and make a salad, and we'll serve this. We'll come back to this beautiful weather we have here in Whistler. See you very shortly.
Make Nesters Shop Easy your one-stop shopping center in Whistler. For variety, selection, and prices that are truly unbeatable, shop at Nesters for all your grocery needs. Produce, from the garden to your table, simply the best. Dairy products, bakery goods, high-quality meats, and those ever-so-special deli items. You'll love the variety. No order is too big or too small. Need help? Nesters Market has the friendliest staff in town. Nesters, a mile north of the village entrance, open 7 days a week, 8 to 8, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday till 9. Welcome back to Cooking with Ross, this week from the Whistler Golf Course. Now here's our executive chef, Ross Smith.
Thank you, Jim. And actually, believe me, during that little break, I would much rather go out there and practice some putting or some chipping, or even be driving off on the first fairway. We're situated between the first tee and the 18th green. We're about 45 feet off the fringe of the green, and believe me, we're very lucky that the golfers have all been hitting the green and definitely not pulling it over to us. If you see balls come flying, there you go, there's one. Thank you, John. Okay, here we go. We've got the 3 different brochettes marinating now. I've got the turkey, the prawns and scallops, and of course the lobster. We're going to start putting them on the barbecue, and we'll pull them off at different times because it will all require slightly different cooking times. We'll just slide over to the barbecue here. I've got the turkey. There we go. I've got the barbecue on about medium heat. We just missed a little piece here. I'll just slap that back on. There we go. Now I'll just keep the rest of the marinade because we are going to baste them during the cooking, okay? Now the lobster. Now you can see this marinade. It's nice and thick. It's the peanut butter and the honey. Now the lobster we'll watch a little more carefully than we will the turkey. Like we will the prawns and scallops. They're muscle meat, okay? They're mussels. And if you overcook them, we've mentioned prawns quite a few times. If you overcook them, they'll get too tough. So you want to cook them very gently. We've got that on there. And we'll keep that marinade too. We'll try and use up everything in this. Now, a little added thing. What I have here, if it's cool enough for me to pick up, I've just melted a little bit, about 2 ounces of butter, and put some fresh chopped mint in it. Now I'm just going to add that to the prawns because we have very little flavor in the marinade of the prawns here. And it's just something to make it a little different. We want all these brochettes to taste totally different, okay? You could actually do these 3 different marinades that I've done. You could do them all with prawns, and they will all taste totally different. It's the marinades that will give the flavor, the basting of them while they're cooking. Now, I've got some extra prawns there, but I think I'll just put those on a little later. That'll be for the staff. Okay. Now, going to check those, make sure nothing's sticking. Everything looks very good. Now we'll just slide back over here for a minute. We're going to do a salad now. Now the salad I'm going to do is tossed greens. I'm using leaf lettuce with a few different vegetables and different things, and egg and cheese in it. But I'm doing it a way that I've been doing quite often. I started it at home quite a few years ago and the people liked it. And I'm doing it for special dinners now at the conference center. And we use 2 different dressings so that you get 2 uniquely different tastes in one dish, in one salad. So I've got some artichoke hearts here. Of course, the canned variety, very good, fine. I'm using 1 14-ounce can of artichoke hearts. Again, I'm going to use a little bit of walnut oil, very little, just for flavor. A little bit of vegetable oil. Now this is going to be the sharpness of the salad, okay? So it has to have some garlic in it. Again, I am not using garlic in everything. You'll see in the dressing I made for the second part of the salad, it won't have garlic. It's going to be very much like a homemade mayonnaise. We put the garlic in. Fairly liberal with pepper. about a quarter teaspoon of pepper. Oregano. A good Ross pinch. We've talked about the Ross pinches. A little dash of Tabasco. Worcestershire. And again, I'm using balsamic vinegar, but I'm using a fair amount of it this time. It's a lighter vinegar. Now we're just going to marinate those, and this will be the sharpness of the salad. This will taste much like the marinated ones that you can buy in the jars and that, but you will pay 5 times the price for. Okay. Now, the other parts of the salad we're going to do. Okay. Got a few fresh mushrooms here. Nice. Okay, some beautiful BC grown fresh tomatoes. It's the perfect time of year for tomatoes, down to about $9, $10 a case, as opposed to about 60 in winter. And now they're red, like a tomato should be. Okay, now this salad's going to be tossed, but we're going to put most of the ingredients together with a light dressing that we'll be making, and then the sharpness will be added into it, okay? Now what I'm doing is cutting these chunky, not sliced, chunks. Okay? So we get about 12 pieces to a tomato. I'm making probably enough salad for about 8 or 10 people. On the recipe for this salad, you would use smaller quantities than this if you're just doing for 4, of course. So we've got the artichoke hearts there. We've got the mushrooms. Artichoke hearts are marinating away well in the sun. They won't take too long now. I've got here some small green onions, about a half dozen. And we're going to cut them not too small. Little bullet-sized pieces, about like that, okay? There we go. Now I'm going to put those in with the artichoke hearts. Get them marinating up nice in that balsamic vinegar with garlic. Got some poached eggs here, boiled, hard-boiled eggs. It's going to be a garnish for the salad. 2. With salads, you can play around with these a lot, of course. The main thing that gives a flavor to the salad is the dressing. Now, what we said today, we're working with 2 different dressings. If a salad, I think you should make it by just clearing out your refrigerator, using what you've got that is fresh. Fresh vegetables, of course, are going to be much better than older ones. Now I have some Havarti cheese here. If you're going to use cheese in this, you can go many ways. You can use a harsh cheese or an old cheese, a bitter cheese. This is very mild and creamy. And we're just going to cut it little julienne pieces to break it into the salad, okay? There we go. Now, I think it might be time for us just to go over and check our barbecue, which it is. Look at those turkey brochettes. They're looking wonderful. Just perfect color. I think a lot of the problems people might have on a barbecue when they do it is they'll have too high a heat. Like I mentioned, I have medium heat on this barbecue. Take your time. We're in no rush to eat. I mean, life isn't quite that short. And that's the biggest mistake people will make. They will burn things. They'll put too harsh of a heat. You've got direct heat here. It's not like an oven. These look like they're coming along just splendidly. Nice. There's the prawn scallops, see, with the mint and the warmed butter on them. Perfect. And you can see if you brochette prawns and scallops like this, they're very easy to deal with. You can pick them up with your fingers. You can turn them properly. They won't be rolling and bouncing around all together. Okay. Now I've got the lobster. Of course, this is coming perfectly. Again, with lobster, you want to be delicate with it. You don't want to cook it, overcook it too much. It's a muscle. It'll toughen. It'll get too hard. Okay? That looks great to me. Back to the salad station. Here we go. Okay, we've got our cheese, tomatoes, mushrooms, got the chopped egg. Now, with the lettuce, again, you can use various different kinds of lettuce. I've had to, excuse me for unwrapping things, but because we're working outside and that, I've had to pack things rather well. Now, if we don't get this on the go really quick, it will be a wilted lettuce salad. So I'm using a green leaf lettuce. Very nice. It's all washed, clean. Toss this. We'll just pass a knife through it a couple of times. Toss everything together. Keep it nice and chilled. Get it out of the heat. And we'll be serving that with the brochettes when they're done in a platter form. You can either pull the pieces off individually, or you can serve them all in a whole brochette, depending on how many people you're serving and whether it's an appetizer situation, whether it's a lunch or a dinner. So, I think what we'll do at the moment is just get everything a little organized here. We're going to take another quick little break. We've got the artichokes marinating. We've got everything else. We're going to come back and put the salad together, make the final dressing for it. Then we'll just platter the brochettes off the barbecue, and we'll eat. We'll see you very shortly.
All your grocery needs, shop at Nestor's Shop Easy. Fresh produce, high-quality meats, dairy products, and deli selections. Nestor's Market, a mile north of the town center in Whistler, open 8 to 8, 7 days a week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday till 9. Welcome back to Cooking with Ross. We've been working the barbecue at the Whistler Golf Course. Once again, here's the executive chef from the Whistler Conference Center, Ross Smith.
I love the way Jim says, we've been working the barbecue. I've been working the barbecue. Jim and Colin, the cameraman, are standing over there. I'm out here in the heat. They're in a little bit of shade. I'm standing about 45 feet from the green here, and if anybody comes in with a strong hook, we're going to get nailed badly. Okay, here we go. What I'm doing now is just putting together the salad. Nobody's on the tee. I can make a little noise. I've got 2 egg yolks there. Now, we talked about the 2 dressings, the strong and the light. Okay, we've got the strong and the artichokes. This is the light. A little bit of oil. Whip that up. A little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Just a dash. Pepper. And salt. Now we just want this to lightly coat the rest of the salad. It's going to be the different flavor, okay? As you can see, it's thick enough now. It's coating the bottom of the bowl. Now, what we're going to do is we put in the lettuce. See, it's holding up in this heat rather well, but I don't think we have much longer. The tomatoes, the mushrooms, the cheese, and the egg. Okay. There we go. We're just going to toss that around a bit. So you can see the way it's coating it nice, putting a nice glaze on it. There we go. So you've got the one flavor with that. Now we're adding the other flavor, and we're going to toss that right in with the artichokes. Nice summer salad. Okay, let us move that over. Maybe I'll just put it under here where it's going to keep nice and cool. Not nice and cool, but cooler than it would be up here. Okay, we've got a platter here. And we're just going to go over to the barbecue here. Let me just put a couple of leaves of lettuce on here. Nice. Okay, over to the barbecue. We've got the turkey. Now I've turned the heats down in different ways. The turkey will take a little longer to cook. You don't want the seafood to cook too long, okay? That's why I put the turkey on first. We're just going to put the brochettes over like this. There we go. Turkey brochettes. Lobster. Looks good. While during the break in that, we marinated these a bit. We kept pouring the marinade on them, basting them. There's your lobster. The prawns and scallops. Now brochettes, these are easy to work with. Every bit as easy as a steak or a burger. Just a little bit of preparation time before you put them on a barbecue. And I'm sure you'll agree with me that not only is this going to taste a little different than a burger or a steak, not better because I like burgers and steaks, but it will definitely be an alternative for you to do with that summer barbecue that you've got coming up, okay? And why would you want to spend time in a hot, dull, dreary kitchen on days like this? So let's get out and let's try some of this barbecue stuff. Now, you can see it's a very nice looking situation we have here. We have the turkey, nice brown, dark. We have the lobster, and we have the prawns, very colorful prawns and scallops. Now I'm just, with a little bit left of the marinade, I'm just going to dash it on the turkey. That's the peanut sauce that we used. I'm sorry, on the lobster, that's the peanut sauce. And just the last of the melted butter with fresh mint on the prawns and scallops. So, we have the salad. We have your brochettes. You can't really ask for a nicer, easier dinner or lunch to prepare outside in this beautiful weather we've been having this year. I'd like to thank you for being with me. Try some of this stuff. The recipes are simple. It's very easy. And enjoy your summer. Have fun barbecuing. See you next time. Okay, you ready? Okay, hold. We have a little lobster there, we have prawns and scallops, we have turkey. Let's try the lobster. Right there.
I know.
Not too bad. Try a little piece. Try a little piece of lobster here. Just one? The other side quick. Whatever, I want to slide the other side.
It's fantastic.
Try one.
Not bad for golf course to do.
With turkey. Great. I'm just going to slide through.
Easy come, easy go. All right.
Ross!
All right.
Roscoe!
Oh, maybe, can I try a... God, this is tasty.
Here we go, gentlemen. Thank you, sir. Okay. Yes. Oh, can I have a whole? Oh, yes.
You got it.
Thank you. Yeah. Prawns, scallops.
You get scallops too?
Yeah.
Oh, these are good.
Smile into the camera.
Lobster there.
Say hi.
Okay. Beautiful.
All right.
This looks great. Hey, then we see you.